The best Thai padman, arguably, and the best Thai fighter, arguably. Well, in kickboxing anyway. Superbon knocked out Giorgio Petrosyan, was the former ONE Championship Kickboxing champion. He's definitely one of the best in the world, and Trainer Gae, definitely one of the best padmen in the world, or one of the most famous anyway. I've never trained with him personally, so I can't vouch for him like that, but you can definitely learn a lot from watching him hold pads. Back when I first started training, and I was in amongst my classes and just taking an interest in the sport in general, I began watching early on how the Thai padmen held the pads so I could be a better training partner for my fellow gym mate. So Trainer Gae is known for being a bit ridiculous in terms he'll let people hit him in the head, and the way he holds pads is quite unique to himself. It's very full on. He basically puts his body and physical health on the line to get the best out of his students. Here we can see Superbon doing repetitive kick, which is something that you'll do a lot in Thailand because the roundhouse kick to the body is one of the highest scoring techniques alongside the knee. So it's something that you'll be doing rep after rep of when training in Thailand. So Trainer Gae letting Superbon hit him in the head a little bit there. He tries to punch Superbon in the face. Superbon has to guard up. And then Trainer Gae attacks him with a series of combinations which Superbon has to react to and block. Just notice the rhythm and the pace of it. It's a little bit faster, probably because Superbon's training for a kickboxing fight. There's not going to be any elbows or clinch in this round. But he's still, the core of it is Thai style. Lots of kicks, lots of knees. That I would not hold a pad for a high kick like that. That was a bit reactive there. Trainer Gae leaning back out the way of Superbon left high kick, which he just knocked out Thai for an Ozcam with. Back to the roundhouse kick. It's slowing down a little bit now, but it's good because this is how the Thai train. Little feint for a jab there. Superbon, good with his hands. He's still got good, accurate punching. But if you notice, he's not throwing a lot with absolute power. Not every shot has to be a big shot. And most of the pad work they're doing is using the hands to set up the legs. So he's using a punch to set up a body kick. So he was doing a cross and a jab into a switch kick there, and Trainer Gae is allowing Superbon to punch him in the head. Obviously not hard. Still don't condone it though. I definitely don't want students doing that to me. But I'm emphasising here that not every shot has to be a big shot, and it's all about balance and recovering after. That's why Trainer Gae will attack Superbon after he lands a strike to show that Superbon's ready to defend himself, like a little jab to the body there. And again, Superbon's stiff arming him and moving him out of the way. They don't do a lot of ring crafts as such in Thailand for the pads. They kind of stay directly in front of the padman, which is encouraged, maybe just moving around to the side like Bull in the Matador. But outside of that, they want you in front of them. And that way, defensively, you're kind of always ready to block what's coming back at you, and you're always in position to counter. All the punches basically are to either the thin air or into Trainer Gae's head. So that means that they don't want power put on it. So sometimes, you're holding pads or you're hitting pads in the West, and everything's with absolute power, and that's not the purpose. Sometimes you've got to get your slow reps in, and it's all about gauging distance and time with your hands sometimes. Not every shot has to be big. Now Superbon was doing a lot of repetitious kicks. He's bouncing those left kicks, and that's another common thing we'll see in Thailand, where the trainers at the start, at the end of the round, will get you to blast out kicks to build up conditioning. So not only was Superbon practicing technique there, but he's building up his endurance. Same with the punches there. There's a little burst like 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's common in Thailand. Again, it's just getting the reps in, and then they go back to a bit more freestyle. So it's a bit of stationary stuff, a bit of just repetition of technique, punching with power, and then a little bit of free flow stuff with Trainer Gae coming at Superbon with some attacks and defence. So obviously this, again, bear in mind, this is Thai style pad work, but for kickboxing. This is like a K1 style concept, so the pace is probably much higher than what you'd usually see. Good block from Superbon there. Trainer Gae leaning back out of the way. So again, this is the whole point of a padman. You can actually practice a lot of things better on the bag. The whole idea of a padman is that he's going to hit your back and move around a little bit. So it's not just like a stationary target that's unresponsive. And then Trainer Gae is obviously being a bit reactive with it. He's putting a pad there without even having to say sometimes, and Superbon's picking the correct technique at the correct range. And that's obviously like high level stuff really. It takes a while to be able to do that. The amount of times I've held the pad for someone, especially in Muay Thai, for an elbow directly in front, and they'll blast me with a punch and blow my shoulder out of my socket. So yeah, it's not very fun when stuff like that happens. Superbon's obviously been doing this since he was a little kid. His technique's almost perfect, and here he's doing a bit more conditioning stuff. Trainer Gae's probably asking him for more power, better balance after, and I'm sure he's going to get him with a combination at some point when Superbon's least expecting it to make him ready. Even then, just nudging in so Superbon has to recorrect his distance. That's the type of thing that Trainer Gae's looking for. He's looking for a strong defence. He's looking for good balance, good posture, good technique, good power. And obviously Trainer Gae's built for power. He's thick set, so he's absorbing every strike from Superbon, which is going to make it much more fatiguing for Superbon to hit the pads, because Trainer Gae ain't going nowhere. So every time Trainer Gae's holding the pads, asking for that power, he ain't moving. That's the advantage of having a big pad man with no neck. Superbon's digging deep here to get through this round. Trainer Gae's asking for more. He wants him to feel tired so he gets used to feeling tired. He gets used to that uncomfortable feeling. So when he's in a fight and it gets hard, I mean, you can see him gasping here, he's going to be able to deal with it. He's going to be able to handle it. That's kind of Trainer Gae's philosophy. He wants you to get used to being in pain, feeling uncomfortable, but then still being able to defend yourself, still being able to win, still being able to go forward, attack, and do what you need to do to get the job done and come out safely. Trainer Gae probably, in many people's opinions, will go a little bit too hard on his students. I personally think if you've got the good relationship, you know the student, then you can get away with a bit more in that regard. Like, you can push them that little bit further. Superbon and Trainer Gae obviously have a fantastic working relationship where they know each other. They can get away with things that I'm sure Trainer Gae wouldn't do on a student who was his very first day training with him. That's another thing that you have to realise. When you're training someone, it takes a while to build up the groove, and as a pad man, you're telling the student when to hit, but you're also kind of half know what strike they want to do when they want to do it. So there's this like mutual understanding and respect from each other when you really get to know your student and you build up that good rapport with them. So that was a little insight into Trainer Gae, his pad holding style with Superbon, who's one of the most elite kickboxers in the world, using a like Muay Thai style in K1. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe. You can catch me over on Patreon for more breakdowns like this, particularly around MMA and the UFC. Pro striking out. I'll catch you later.